The Wise Old Owl and the Curious Squirrel. Once upon a time, in a lush and sprawling forest, there lived a wise old owl named Oliver. Oliver was known throughout the forest for his wisdom and knowledge. Animals from far and wide would come to seek his advice. One sunny day, a curious little squirrel named Sammy approached Oliver's tree. "Hello, wise old owl. I've heard you know everything there is to know. Can you tell me the secret to a happy life?" asked Sammy. Oliver looked at Sammy with a twinkle in his eyes and said, "Ah, the secret to a happy life, my dear friend, is not in possessions or grand adventures. It lies in the simple joys and the wisdom to appreciate them." Sammy tilted his head in confusion. "What do you mean, wise old owl?" Oliver nodded knowingly and began to tell a story. Once upon a time, there was a fox named Fiona who was always chasing after the biggest and shiniest things in the forest. She believed that having more would make her happier. One day, she came across a magical mirror that promised to show her the grandest treasure in the world. Fiona was thrilled and looked into the mirror, expecting to see mountains of gold and jewels. To her surprise, the mirror showed her reflection, but with a sad and lonely expression. Confused, she asked the mirror why it didn't show her the grand treasure it promised. The mirror spoke, "The grandest treasure in the world is not what you can possess. It's the love you give and receive, the friendships you nurture, and the moments you cherish." From that day forward, Fiona changed her ways. She started appreciating the simple joys of life, like playing with friends, enjoying the warmth of the sun, and sharing laughter. And you know what, Sammy? She became the happiest fox in the forest. Sammy listened intently, and a smile spread across his face. "So, it's not about having the biggest acorn or the shiniest nut?" Oliver chuckled. "No, dear Sammy. It's about appreciating the small joys, valuing relationships, and understanding that true happiness comes from within." And so, Sammy learned a valuable lesson from the wise old owl that day. From then on, he lived a content and joyful life, finding happiness in the simple pleasures of the forest and in the company of his friends. The moral of the story is, true happiness comes from appreciating the simple joys of life and valuing the relationships that bring joy and meaning to our hearts.